All right, so first things first, let's welcome and everything. But I took a Nas trade, and within this Nas trade, it was a very beautiful trade that we see here and everything, right? Great risk to reward. That's what it's all about, having a good, solid risk to reward. Because if you don't have good, solid risk to reward when you're trading, right, your risk to reward is all over the place, then what tends to happen? You're gonna have really, really bad results. And when you're trading, you always want to have everything consistent. Every single thing you're doing is consistent. You never want to let your emotions get in the way. You never want to let anything get in the way of your consistency. Your consistency is the breadwinner. Literally, it is your bread and butter when trading. Whatever you do, you must be consistent. And of course, right? I'm gonna write that down as well. You have to really have that strong sense of emotional control, because if you don't have that strong sense of emotional control, right, what tends to happen? Traders like to revenge trade. Traders, and them contemplating trading. It's just all these negative thoughts that just cloud your mind that ends up leading you to the wrong setups, right? Because I want you all to know something. We only use 10% of our brains, right? So everything else is subconscious. So all the bad habits you may have, or if you have poor emotional control or poor habits, is going to translate in your results. The slightest things, you do something just slightly off a little bit, can throw the whole entire trade off, right? You might as well just throw the whole entire trade away. Right? But first thing, like I said, you have to be consistent when you're trading. Always, always, always have to be consistent. Whatever your strategy is, you have to stick with it. Please do not be that one type of trader that does not want to stick with their strategy. Please don't be like that. Traders that don't want to stick to one strategy are going to have the hard time. I used to myself. I tell traders this all the time. I used to strategy hop when I first started trading years ago. And when I was strategy hopping, one thing I always noticed was, of course, it was inconsistent. But the main thing that really threw everything off is that your account has its own psychology as well. So whatever you do on your account is where you're trading at, right? And if you're doing things inconsistent and it's just so much of an imbalance on there, right? What tends to happen? You end up getting the results that you don't want. You got mixed match trades, different risks, different this, different that. It's just everything's thrown off. Everything is completely thrown off, right? So you don't want to be like this. So, like I said, number two was emotional control, having that good sense of emotional control, having solid. I spelled it for some reason. I'm gonna tell you this: every trade that you take, the trades you take in all throughout this week, have no relationship with the trades that you're taking next week. I'm gonna say that again. All the trades you have taken in the past have no relationship with the trades you're taking in the future, right? Although I won this trade, it was a nice trade, 5R, but it still has no relationship with the trades that I'm taking next week. Because a lot of times when a newbie trader comes in, they win a few trades, right? Or a trader starts to really get consistent with the strategy, what tends to happen? They go, oh, I just won this trade, I'm unstoppable. No, you're not. You're honestly not unstoppable at all. Who's unstoppable are the people that have billions of dollars moving throughout the market and that have a good sense of emotional control and good psychology base as well. Those are the people that are unstoppable. You're not unstoppable and until you have billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars throughout the market. Then you're unstoppable, right? Hedge funds and all those other wonderful high quality traders, like those very, high end traders. Will I be there in time? Will definitely take some time and consistency. And same for you all. You can definitely get there. It's just you have to be consistent. That's what people lack. But it's just so, so simple when you're trading, when you understand that every trade you take has no relationship to the next trade you're taking. So although yes, I took this trade I won, that's cool. That's how I view it. I don't get overly excited, right? Because I have that good sense of emotional control. I don't let it get it over my head. I don't get too cocky. I'm just confident when I'm in the market. I see my setup. I see my confluences. I take the trade, right? And I trade with smart money concepts. So I took it off of this order block in the 3 minute time frame. And then, of course, on this, I had an exit plan as well, right? Certain areas where I take profits, move my stop loss to break even, and so many other things as well too. Write down number three, have an exit plan. That's very important. You got to have the exit plan. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You have to have an exit plan. If you don't have an exit plan, it's gonna be very hard trading. I mean, unless you have a strategy where you just hold the whole entire thing. If that works, that works. Of course, if it fits with your psychology, fits with what you do, then by all means stick with it. I promise. Just do it. And of course, right, like I said before, let me make this number four. Every trade that you take, every past trade that you have taken has no relationship with what? Your future trades or your current trades. Every trade you're taking is always going to have a different outcome. Always. That's exactly how the market always is, all the time. Everything you're taking, this trade right here, I can come across a trade next week for 20 on. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't, right? I don't expect too much from the market. I don't. Like I said, I see my confluences, I see what I got to do, and I take the trade. And that's one thing that as a trader you must do. You have to execute. You have to get that fear of, oh, I could lose the trade or second guessing yourself. I always tell my traders this: you have to be decisive when you're in the market. If you're not decisive when you're in the market, you're just hurting yourself. If you're not responsible, you're hurting yourself. You're not consistent, you're hurting yourself. You don't have good emotional control, you're not hurting yourself. You don't understand the nature of the market, you're honestly hurting yourself as well too. Because trading is like sports, right? And let's say you got, football player or basketball player, right? They always say it's always 20% physical with what you're doing and the rest is mental. And that's exactly what trading is as well. Trading is like a sport, honestly. You have to back test, right? Practice. You have to do certain things to prepare yourself when you're in the market. I treat it serious. You have to take it serious as well. You can't lollygag. You can't do anything really too much wrong in your control. And everything that you're doing that you're in control of has to be flawless to be successful with trading. Everything you do, you have to be like a robot, honestly. Just every time you're in the market, you're like a cyborg. It's time to lock in. It's time to, okay, make a list. This is what I'm looking for, all my confluences. All right, check them off when you see them. All right, check them off. Do I have good emotional control right now? Am I, following my rules? Am I going to follow my exit plan? Check, check, check. And then just execute. That's all you have to do when you're trading. I promise you. Why can't traders just simply execute? Just why? Like, why do traders all the time, they have a beautiful analysis, but poor execution? It's because they're not confident. If you don't have confidence when you're trading, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to have good results. You're not. I don't care what type of analysis you may have, because you have to be flawless with whatever you're doing. I'm telling you right now, you cannot make a mistake when you're trading or taking trades in the market. You can't. You have to make flawless executions. You have to. That's number five. You must have flawless. I'll do it in all caps. Oops. Must have flawless executions. That means your risk, exit plans, take profit areas, of course, stop loss areas, correct lot size. Every single thing has to be flawless. That's what separates the professional traders from the okay traders and the not so great traders. It's because they're consistent and they execute flawlessly. That's what it's all about. And of course, when you trade, you do have to have a pretty solid strategy, of course. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's pretty obvious. But at the same time, it doesn't even matter. You can be profitable with just about almost any strategy. It's just up to you on how consistent you are and are you going to execute flawlessly. And if you don't, then that's on you. Of course, we take a look at Nas overall. It was bearish. And what did it do? It just went all the way down. It went past the hourly demand as well, too, down here. Let me show y'all. There's an hourly demand right here. It reacted off of it. I'm not going to lie. Pretty solid reaction. And now look at it now. Super bearish. This thing is so bearish. Oh, my goodness. It's crazy. But does anybody have any questions or anything so far?